I can go. All right. Hi, you guys. My name is Michaela Parks. People call me Mac, and I'm doing my About Me video today. So, when I posted the post on my Instagram, I got like a lot of questions back, but a lot of them just kind of seemed like either I don't want you guys to know that yet, or it was just like I'm not about to answer that on camera. The first one that I think people might find interesting is, why do people call me Matt? So when I was in high school, I played water polo. So when I played water polo, I was a goalie, but the coach would always scream like, Michaela, get the ball, Michaela. But that name is like really long. It's 3 syllables. So to shorten it up, they just started calling me Matt. So that's kind of just how that name got along. And then it kind of just like stuck. So like all my teammates started calling me Mac. And then my friends at school started calling me Mac. I started calling myself that. Came to college and people still call me that. I don't really know. It kind of just stuck like that. So that's why they call me Mac. Where are you from? So originally, it's kind of like difficult to describe. I claim Orange County. I'm from Orange County. All my activities growing up were in Orange County, lived in Orange County, went to high school in Orange County. But I actually grew up in Long Beach for a little bit. So I have a lot of friends from like middle school and elementary school from out in Long Beach. So that's where I'm from, where I grew up. What school do I go to? I go to Spelman College. I'm a senior at Spelman College. I like it. It's decent. It wasn't what I thought it would be. I'm from like Orange County, so like I'm not really around like a lot of people that look like me. So when I came out here, it was kind of like an adjustment. But I'm really happy I came out here. Like it changed a lot in my life and helped me like grow into the person I am today. So I love it. I like Spelman a lot. And then the one question that I actually got like a lot, which I was kind of expecting you guys to ask me this question, but I haven't really like told the story to that many people just because it's kind of long, and like I'm not gonna lie, like when I tell the story, it sounds like really, really crazy and like nobody really believes me at first, but this story is 100%.
What's up? Oh.
That was one of my mentors. Hi Joy, shout out Joy. So yeah, people don't really believe the story, but it's kind of crazy, so I'm about to go for it. So basically, my freshman year of college, just getting adjusted to Atlanta, I didn't really like know much about the city besides like when I came out here to visit when I was like younger. I knew that rap culture was like really, really big out here. I didn't really know like how much, but I knew that like you would probably see celebrities out here way more than you see them back home, like when you're out in LA, like going to the malls, going to like the shops and stuff. Came out here, I went to Lenox one day off of just like never going to Lenox before. This is my first time ever going to Lenox. And ironically enough, we were walking out, me and my friends were like walking around, and somebody came up to us and they were just like, oh, like Young Thug is in the mall today. I'm like, what? Like that's crazy. Like Young Thug is here? Like I love Young Thug. So fast, and I see like my boss, Daps, he's like sitting like right, like probably like a chair or two away from me, and I'm like, oh hi, like nice to meet you, or whatever. And he said, oh hi. I'm looking at him like, damn, like how does this man have a British accent? Like who is he? So I'm in the studio. Daps, like me and him, we're sitting like 2 seats away from each other. We look at each other, and he's kind of just like, oh hi, like nice to meet you. So I'm like, oh, nice to meet you too. Like, my name is Michaela, whatever. He's like, oh, like, how old are you? Like, you look kind of like young. And I did look young when I was 18. Like, I don't think I started looking like somewhat like mature or anything until like probably late into my 20th year of life. LOL. I'm like, oh, I'm 18. He's like, oh, what are you doing out here? I'm like, oh, I go to school out here. I go to Spelman. So he's asking me like, oh, what's your major and stuff. So I'm like, I'm a political science major at Spelman College. I'm a freshman. I just got down here. And so we're chatting it up. So Thug looks at me and he's like, do you know who that is? And I'm like, nah, I don't know who he is. So Thug goes, oh, well, he's a director. Like, he made T-shirt and he made this. But actually, Thug didn't even say T-shirt. I think he said white tee. And I was looking at him like, what the fuck is white tee? Like, what is white tee? So he's like, no, T-shirt. And I'm like, oh, okay, Migos. So I'm like, damn, like, you make a bunch of, like, cool videos. So we start chopping it up. And I told him, I was like, oh, well, even though I'm a political science major, like, I want to be an entertainment lawyer. And so he's like, oh, well, have you had any experience, like, in the entertainment industry? I'm like, nah, like, nothing at all. I probably did, like, a couple fashion-type things back home, back in L.A. And other than that, nothing really, anything more than that. So I'm like, let me shadow you one day. So he's like, well, I'm about to fly back out to L.A. in a couple days, but, like, I don't have anything else lined up, but I'll let you know next time I'm out in Atlanta. So I'm like, oh, okay, sounds good. So we exchanged phone numbers. And whenever he would come out to Atlanta, like, I would, like, see on his story, like, oh, like, he's in Atlanta, let me, like, text him real fast. So I would text him, hey, y'all in Atlanta, what are you working on? And, like, for a couple times, he wouldn't text me back, or, like, the communication would be, like, really, really slow. And then finally, like, he was like, oh, well, I'm going to be working on this. And I had a big test, so I didn't end up going to set with him. So then more time went by. And after more time went by, I finally got in contact with him. So I go out to Miami for spring break, typical college stuff. I'm coming back from spring break, and I see that, like, Walk It Talk It had just dropped with Migos and Drake, and I know Jamie Foxx was in it too. And I'm watching it on YouTube, and I'm like, damn, like, this video goes crazy. Like, this is a really dope video. And then at the end of the video, I was like, I wonder who directed it. Because I was just seeing clips on Twitter. Like, I didn't actually see the full, like, video yet. So when I went to go watch the actual video, I saw Daps' name popped up, and I was like, whoa, there's no way he made this video. So I texted him, like, one of the tweets, like, one of the, like, trending tweets about this video is really nice, whatever. I screenshot it, and I sent it to him, like, man, like, you made this? Like, this video is crazy. Like, how did you, like, I just talking to him about the video. And so he's like, yeah, well, like, next time I'm in Atlanta, like, I'll bring you on set with me. So I'm like, okay, sounds good. So I'm a really firm believer in signs. Like, whenever I, like, see something, or, like, I could, like, manifest certain things, and a couple days later I'll see something like, oh, like, that's a sign, like, telling me that this is, like, a possibility or something. So I actually went to Phipps to go shopping with my friend, and I'm walking out of Phipps, and I look up, and Coach K is standing, like, right in front of me. And so in my head, I'm like, damn, like, I've been talking about this entertainment stuff for a while. I just talked to Daps about some stuff. Coach K is standing right in front of me. And if you guys don't know who that is, he's, like, works for Quality Control, one of the CEOs, like, big time in the industry. So I'm looking at him, I'm like, I should go say something to him. And I get kind of nervous sometimes when I talk to people, like, fresh off bat. So I'm like, you know what, just do it, go talk to him. So I go up to him, like, hey, like, you know, my name's Michaela. I'm a, like, political science major at Spelman College. Like, I'm looking for any type of opportunity in the entertainment industry. And he's like, you know what, take my number down, text me. I'm going to see if I can get an internship for you. So I'm like, all right. So I sent him over a text. We talked back and forth for, like, very, very brief, like, minimal. Like, not really much came of it. He never responded back. Like, he responded back that day, and then, like, I think I tried to follow back up, like, a week or two later. No response back. I'm like, damn, like, what? Like, what am I supposed to do now? I kind of got, like, a little intimidated, but I just was like, you know what? Like, that's just one person. Like, you know, keep trying. So I called Daps up, and I told him, I'm like, yeah, like, I ran into Coach K at Phipps. Like, he just really, like, jogged my memory again. Like, I really want to, like, be adamant about this stuff. I want to, like, work in the entertainment industry. He's like, you know what? Like, I'm starting a production company. Do you want to work for me? And I was just like, this story just sounds, like, crazy. Like, what? Yes, I want to work for you. So he told me he was going to be back in Atlanta, like, that upcoming weekend. I think this was, like, a Tuesday or, like, earlier on in the week. And so by the time, like, the weekend came around, he texted me, and he was like, okay, call me. I'm going to tell you what I need you to do. So he calls me up, and I'm like, who are we working with? This is, like, the first job I've ever worked on before. And so he goes, oh, it's going to be this upcoming project, like, QC is, like, trying to put this new little, like, group together, which turns out later on, like, it never really became, like, a group or anything, but, like, they did have a song. It was for Volume 2 of the Quality Control album. And he goes, we're going to be working with Lil Yachty, Migos, and Gucci Mane. And I can remember I, like, muted the phone, and I was like, what the, like, this is crazy. Like, what? So, unmute the phone. Yeah, like, just send me the call sheet for it. So he sends me the call sheet. I go on set, and I'm there. I want to say we were on set from, like, 11 a.m. to, like, damn near, like, 3 a.m. Like, the next day. It was, like, the longest work shift I've ever been on. And when I was there, I kind of was directing behind the scenes. So, like, basically, like, the photographer that was hired for that day for, like, behind the scenes images, I was telling him what type of content, like, Daps wanted. And then aside from that, I was trying to curate type of content that I wanted on the social media page, because I managed the social media page for Creative Row too. So just that was, like, my first, like, start working with things. After that, I continued working with Daps. It's been great. I like him a lot as a boss. So that's how I got started and how I got my job. So shout out to Young Thug. I guess he kind of put me on. Not really put me on, but I wouldn't have talked to my boss if Young Thug didn't say, do you know who that is? So, and the video I think he was working on, if you guys watch it, it's called All the Time by Young Thug. That's the first video that I ever watched that was really, like, Daps' work and knew it was his work. So that's how I got my job, and that's what I do for my job. What is my dream job? My end goal eventually, which is why I kind of started my YouTube channel, because I was trying to get, like, more comfortable in front of a camera, is I want to do, like, entertainment news and broadcasting. So, like, work red carpets, be on like Insider, E Entertainment. That's what I really want to do. But aside from that, I actually want to do like consulting for big brands too, and I also want to help with like basically marketing for labels. There's a lot of stuff I want to do. I don't really have a permanent end goal. I just know that there's a lot of things that I want to cover in my lifetime. So I'm taking steps to get there. Hopefully they'll all pan out. I manifest daily. I pray on things too, but I feel like manifesting is kind of more powerful than praying, because you can pray for things a lot, but if you're not putting action into it and speaking it into existence, then like how much does prayer really count? Kind of. That's kind of controversial, or like people might not agree with that thought, but that's how I feel about it. And that's my About Me video. I might do another one though, because there was a couple questions I wanted to cover, but I feel like these were just kind of really, really long stories to tell. I hope it made sense. I hope you guys understood it. If you didn't, you could DM me. Follow me on Instagram at MacParks, MAKPARK with 3 S's. And then I think my Twitter is different. It's Michaela_Parks98. And then get at me. All right. Bye. Thank you.